Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And SA Rugby has just announced the 2021 award winners for last season, with KOLISI being crowned the South African Rugby Player of the Year, which in my opinion is very, very much deserved. Although I think that everyone that was up against him could have been equal winners. But I think probably the reason I'm so glad to see him recognised is because I think that if we turn back clocks about a year ago, he wasn't playing his best rugby. He was sort of trying to find a bit of form going into that British and Irish Lions series, trying to find time to play some games. And there was a big worry. A lot of people, people were going as far as to say he's being picked based on the transformation issue, or based on the fact that he's just the captain. And he then went on to just drop performance after performance after performance. The level of consistency he brought last year was phenomenal. And I think that his captaincy as well took on a whole new meaning last year. And I think that the Springboks achieved a lot of things that a lot of people didn't expect them to achieve, and a lot of that came down to the sheer brilliance that was KOLISI last year. But before we look at all the complete awards, and I think they've gotten a lot of them right, please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so they were all announced today on the Rugby South African Rugby Twitter and on various social networks. So obviously the Premier Award is the SA Rugby Player of the Year, which KOLISI was named the winner. The fellow nominees were Lekanya Damon Lendi, Evan Etzebeth, and Makazole Mapimpi. Now, if you were to be harsh, I'd probably say Mapimpi probably comes last in that list, but after that, I would struggle to try and rank the rest of them, because I think that Lekanya Damon Lendi, probably the best two centre partnership in the world right now, and Evan Etzebeth was sublime, just dropping that enforcer role week after week after week. He was in pretty incredible form last year. Yeah, good to see as well that he's sort of being recognised there, and I think could have been very much a candidate for World Player of the Year. Elsewhere, the SA Rugby Young Player of the Year, the nominees were Jaden Hendrickse, Jordan Hendrickse, what a time to be Hendrickse, Ulrich Lowe, Evan Ruiz, and Aprile Fassi. And Aprile Fassi did scoop this award. Pretty easy to have given him out of that list, was part of the Springboks setup, got 2 caps, 2 tries on debut as well. And we look forward to sort of his continued progression within the Springbok setup. The Springbok Women's Player of the Year was Lusanda Dumka. The Springbok Sevens Player of the Year, what an incredible story. Ronald Brown wins the award ahead of his captain, Severo Soyezwapi, as well as Sullivan Davids. But you look at Ronald Brown and the journey that he's had to undergo. He at one stage was not sure if he was never going to play the game again. And to come back to be in such incredible form last year, to be part of one of the greatest Blitzbox teams ever, and now to be crowned, Springbok Sevens Player of the Year, after having to beat cancer is an incredible story for him. So, it's one of those people's success stories you just want him to succeed. So, what a moment for him to kind of and scoop that award. Junior Springbok Player of the Year, it was Jordan Hendrickse, Jan Hendrik West, and Henko van Wyk, and the Lions centre was named the Junior Springbok Player of the Year. He looks very, very special as Henko van Wyk. Plays at outside centre, very direct, very physical, a bit of a try-scoring machine. I don't think it's going to be too long until we see him really starting to push through the ranks at the Lions. But it also sort of shows you the depth in the Lions when 2 or 3 of the Junior Springboks players are within the union. To have Henko van Wyk, who is coming through, Jordan Hendrickse coming through. There's a number of young players at the Lions who are very exciting. They've got a very good young side. We're going to see a lot more during the Currie Cup. I think we're going to see them struggle because of the Currie Cup. But then it goes to Team of the Year. And I think they've gotten this wrong because the Springboks were named the Team of the Year ahead of the Bulls and ahead of the Springbok Sevens. I don't understand how you don't give this award to the Blitzboks, who did not lose the singles. They haven't lost an event in 5 events. They haven't lost a game in almost 28 matches. So I'm a bit confused about that one. How I thought the Springboks had a fantastic year. I did a whole video about the success that was the Springbok year. This Blitzboks side is on a different level. They really are on a different level at the moment. They are beating anyone in their path. They're not losing games. They're winning tournaments. They've almost cleaned up the HBC series in the first sort of 5 rounds. Such has been their dominance. So I think that's the big one where they've gotten it wrong. And then in the same breath, Coach of the Year went to Jake White ahead of Jacques Nienaber and Neil Powell. Again, I don't understand how you don't recognize Neil Powell for the work he did. The only thing that the Sevens didn't do last year was win a medal at the Olympics. That was the only time where they didn't perform up to their standards. Whereas you could argue the Bulls didn't come to the party in that Rainbow Cup final. You can argue the Springboks didn't always, those 2 Australian games, stuff like that. The Blitzboks didn't falter last year. Aside from the Olympics, which technically is not a rugby sanctioned event by World Rugby. So I think that again, I definitely would have got Neil Powell there ahead of Jake White. The Carling Currie Cup Premier Division Player of the Year went to Ulrich Lowe, ahead of Johan Koos and Evan Roos. Evan Roos, I think maybe could have been felt hard done by. I thought that he had played very well and very eye-catching performances. But I suppose, it often does sort of align with whoever wins the Currie Cup, often has then the best player. So, you can kind of understand the thinking there. The Currie Cup First Division Player of the Year was Dylan Mart for Berlin Cavaliers. He beat out Anrich Richter from the Falker and Danrich Versaki at the Leopards. The Provincial Women's Player of the Year was Sandra Dunker for the Border Ladies. That Border Ladies side is actually very impressive. And good to see Border Rugby doing something at the moment. The Castle Lager Try of the Year goes to Chesn Colby for that try against the British and Irish Lions. I think a pretty easy choice. I think that, it was such an important try in the context. It was such a greatly taken try by Chesn Colby. And then lastly, the Outros Referee of the Year, Amy Barrett-Turon, the best referee in the country by a country mile at the moment. She is going to go so far. I could very well see her being, potentially the first ever woman to referee a men's World Cup final. I think that her trajectory at the moment, she is by far the best referee in the country. She's starting to get international recognition. I think she's got a Six Nations game, or she's on the panel of the Six Nations game. So it's good to see her really taking those big steps forward. I think that she's a really good referee that communicates very well. And she lets the game fly. I think she's very, very competent, which is rare in the South African refereeing scene. But let me know what you thought about all the awards down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. As always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.